Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 71-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to know is you can go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these quoters on just about every page. You just click the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Click the coverage amount, fill out your birthday and the rest, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies in the state you live in and all the best pricing. And you can be an incredibly smart consumer and shopper. That will help you quite a bit. And then we can help you with the policy if you find something. And then you can call us at 888-862-9456 and talk with one of our agents if you don't want to do it through the quarter. Now, the first thing you need to understand, if you're a 71-year-old female looking for $15,000, is that going to be enough coverage for your final expense needs? And that's a great question. So that would fall between a cremation and a burial. Now, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's just if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to have some sort of ceremony with that cremation, that'll probably be $3,500 to $4,500. And, so if you have a $15,000 policy, you're in good shape. If you don't have a policy right now, is $15,000 the right amount? We would say that's probably a little bit high for a cremation. Typically, that cremation with when you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we'd probably recommend between $5,000 to $7,000. And that just builds some extra money in there, in case you're blessed to reach age 81 or maybe age 91. Just inflation proofs your plan. And if you're going to have that ceremony with that cremation, we'd probably recommend between $7,000 to $10,000. That's going to work for most 71-year-old females pretty well. Now, if you're going to get buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right about $10,000. And I can assure you one thing, $10,000 is not going to be a fancy funeral in this day and age. But we have to imagine that if you walked into most funeral homes in the United States with a $10,000 check, they would get the job done rather than letting that check walk down the street to one of their competitors. But again, it won't be anything fancy. So if you're looking at getting something for burial at age 71 and you're a female, we would probably recommend somewhere between $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. I would say $15,000 probably going to be the happy medium. But consider this. If your budget's a little tight and all you can afford is $15,000 or $10,000, do that. Get the $10,000 if that's all you can afford. If you can afford a little more, get a little more. Just keep in mind, if you get that $10,000, we can always help you add more coverage later. So the most important insurance to get is kind of the insurance you have right now. So, get a policy that you can afford to get something in place that will help your family greatly. And then we can always help you get more coverage later. But $15,000 would be pretty good for most folks. One thing we don't recommend, though, is getting 25, 30, 40,000 or something like that at age 71, just because it gets awfully expensive. And a lot of people would say, well, I just want to leave some money behind for my kids. Our thoughts on that are, really keep that money in your own pocket. Spend that money on your kids while you're alive rather than give it to an insurance company to give money after they're dead. That way you can have the fun of those memories while you're alive, and they will have the fun of those memories as long as they're alive. Seems like a lot better use of money than letting an insurance company get your money, at least for that extra coverage. So one thing we do recommend is first day coverage or benefits, and that's all we help people with at Funeral Funds of America. So what that means is if you had a policy and it was approved and put in force today and you died tomorrow, first day coverage means the insurance company would pay that death claim. So it's really important, and that's opposed to plans out there that have 2-year waiting periods, which we don't recommend at all. Those 2-year waiting periods, they're not going to pay for any health or medical related cause of death in their first 2 years. So we'll get into that in a moment here. But a lot of people would say, hey, I want the first day coverage, but I hear they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health. To which we would say, hey, that's our problem. That's not your problem. We work with enough different insurance companies that they all have different underwriting requirements. They all ask different health questions. And we can typically jump to one company or another based off what's going on medically. And we've got right around a 90-95% approval rate for first day coverage or benefits. So definitely that's the way you want to go. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health or medical issues going on. And that could be like a terminal illness where you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you're in a hospital or a nursing home. If you had any of those things going on, kind of anything real serious or significant, we'd probably refer you out to a different company at that point. The other thing that seems to happen every week is we get somebody call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have any insurance and we don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home and the funeral director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get a check in our hand to get a check in the funeral director's hand. And we have to tell these people, there's no life insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on somebody who's already died. This insurance does not work that way. You have to be alive. And it's really terrible that, somebody who, supposedly cared and loved for their family did not take care of this. And now they place that financial burden on their family. And it's a terrible legacy to leave behind, that every time anybody thinks of your name, they think, oh yeah, they forced us to pay that bill when we couldn't afford the money and we had to take out loans and everything like that. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. If you can't afford a lot, get what you can. We can always help you add more coverage. But don't be that person that, sticks your family with this bill and creates not only a financial hardship, but a true emotional hardship as well. Now, one thing we don't recommend is 2-year waiting period plans. I mentioned that before. Colonial Penn's probably one of the better known ones out there. And reason is, that $9.95 plan of theirs, they advertise it like every 7 minutes on the TV, it seems, right? And that $9.95 sounds pretty darn cool. And a lot of 71-year-old females would say, I'm smart. I wait until age 71, for $9.95, I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then they talk with a Colonial Penn agent, or they go online like we did. And a female age 71, $9.95 for 1 unit of coverage is, $949. That's it, right? $940. I mean, I don't think that's enough for a cremation in really any part of the United States. And it doesn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period, and it's not going to pay out any death benefit for the next 2 years if you die of any health or medical reason. So $949 is not going to be worth $949 spending power-wise 2 years from now due to inflation. So why would you get a policy for $9.95 that's going to leave you woefully underinsured? It makes no sense. So let's take a look at Price Shop here. So this 1 unit pricing, it always ends up, for a 71-year-old female, kind of wackadoodle numbers like $949. With most insurance companies, you could get a $15,000 policy, but not Colonial Penn for a 71-year-old female. 15 units, let's see how close that gets us. That gets us to $14,235. That's the max you can get, is 15 units for a 71-year-old female. So you can't even get $15,000. So let's compare that to first day coverage, though, because this is roughly $150. Here we go, $15,000 right here. 15,000 female, age 71. I'm going to click go. And again, this is roughly $14,000 for $149. We can get $15,000 for $81. So if this were actually $15,000, it'd be much more than this. It'd be more than $149. So if we kind of did the math on that, what we've seen is Colonial Penn is typically right about 200% more expensive than first day coverage. So not only is it more expensive, and it's more expensive each month, they will allow you to overspend on that policy every single month for the rest of your life. And you will overpay on this policy every single month for the rest of your life. And you've got that 2-year waiting period, which we just don't recommend. So if we look at the numbers here, 81 to 150. So let me do the math on that real quick. So that is roughly $70 more a month. That would be $840 more a year. If our 71-year-old female lived 10 years, that would be an additional $8,400 in premium that you didn't have to pay by going with Colonial Penn. And that's an additional roughly $8,400 on a $15,000 policy. So it really is to your benefit to not to overpay on this insurance and get lower pricing. And Trinity Life Insurance is a great company. We work with them. We can help you get insured with them. Level coverage, that means first day coverage. That's exactly the plan you want. Let's look at some other companies here, company or companies, check pricing, and you'll be able to see all these different companies here on our quarter. So like Lincoln Heritage, they're a fine company, I guess. Their pricing's higher, that's for sure. Level coverage, first day coverage, that's good. Now their pricing's higher because they've got this program where, when you pass away, they will call 2 to 3 different funeral homes, maybe do a couple other things, and supposedly get you the lowest pricing. But it's not a free service. You pay for that. And that's why their premium's more expensive. So let's go 121, go down to here to 81 roughly. So that is roughly $40 more a month. That would be roughly $480 more a year. And after 10 years, at age 81, that'd be roughly $4,800 more. So think about this. 10 years from now, our 71-year-old female dies, and Lincoln Heritage is going to make 2 or 3 phone calls, maybe do a couple other things, might take an hour or so, and they will have made an extra $4,800 roughly on that transaction. And I don't know about you, that seems kind of expensive to me. So what we would recommend is actually go with a company that's got a lower premium, like Trinity Life. And we offer a free funeral and estate planning guide. And in that free funeral and estate planning guide, you can just fill it out while you're alive. Who gets what goes where, what do you want done after your death? Where do you want it to happen? Exactly what do you want done? All the arrangements. And then you just keep that with your insurance policy. Now, when you do pass away, your family goes to one place and they find not only the insurance policy, which protects them financially, but that funeral and estate planning guide, which protects them emotionally. Again, all they got to do is open it up and just fulfill the wishes that you wrote down well in advance of your death. And they will know that you cared enough that while you were in life, you were thinking about death and protecting them. And boy, what a gift of love that is for your family. And it can save yourself loads of money, like upwards of $4,800. And you can spend that money on your family creating memories rather than giving that over to an insurance company, as long as you do things right. And we can certainly help you out there. So go to our website, funeralfunds.com. We've got a special page for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And we'll have a quote there where you can get the most discounts and best rates there for our YouTube listeners. But you can fill it out any place on our website. You can call us at our toll-free 888-862-9456. And one of our agents can help you out. And if you have a policy and you just want to price shop it or add coverage to it, we can help you out there. If you're looking for brand new coverage, we can help you out there. And if you just want some information or some help or just kind of know how things work, then we can help you out there. So we look forward to the day when we do get to meet you and talk with you and help you out with this. And until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.